Hello, today is 10th of February, so we are having a MicroProfile AI conversation. Please help out with the minutes and etc. So it's let me share my screen. Share. Just for the ones who were not on last week's call, so we basically spend a lot of time discuss the basically the AI. So it's where to put the integration piece. And then kind of after the call, I created basically I emailed the community, so MicroProfile, Google Group, and also the Jakarta folks regarding where to put to basically contribute integration. Either to launching 4G or kind of under the MicroProfile kind of the org. And let me quickly show them from the Google Group thing. So as you can see, basically it's so this is kind of the email I sent. There's the two options. The one is basically contribute the code base, to basically to the code base launching 4G and place under the repo launching 4G MicroProfile Jakarta. So it's the same level as the launching 4G Spring. The other one is we directly place the integration under MicroProfile. It's not as a spec, but as a library as such. Basically take into consideration AI is evolving so fast. And then we pretty much build on top of launching 4G and etc. So there's kind of the few kind of conversation. I think is for the ones basically I think from the Microsoft point of view, they would like to directly contribute to launching 4G, and then Keto also, I mean, yeah, kind of favor option one. So for IBM point of view, and also from my personal point of view, and we also think it's it better contribute to launching 4G, like a top level project. Uh, and I think it's kind of then if there's a kind of no other the objections and etc., we can make progress, like contribute to launching 4G. Whoever want to basically have more discussion, and also I will basically bring it up in tomorrow's MicroProfile technical call. So basically, it's kind of to make this kind of the decision point and etc. and to the wider community. So I'm wondering, anybody else have any different views on this? Okay, if it's no kind of different views, and then we say, okay, we will contribute to launching 4G. I think the next step is about the basically get in touch with the launching community. So as far as I know, so basically here the launching community. So it's kind of we pretty much need to have the repo created. So it's kind of the next thing I will say maybe is raise the issue to have that repo created. So it's kind of uh the name. There's the launching 4G dash micro profile dash Jakarta. The thing is you could be just to say dash micro profile, but it's better to be also mention Jakarta as well. There's a kind of yeah, that I think that use both MicroProfile and Jakarta, and also make both community feel they are included. So this is one of the option. What would people think? Are there any other names?
Yeah, I think the original idea from the Microsoft side, when I understand Risa correctly, was to have an CDI integration. That might be a short name too.
It is. The problem is, I agree with you. Technically, CDI is correct, but we want to enhance discoverability. So this name is not just a technical name; it's also a brand recognition name. And so for that reason, I personally prefer Jakarta MicroProfile Jakarta. I don't care about the ordering, but as long as they're both in there.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
don't know. There might be some restriction in the allowed use of the names of the working groups. So that need to be verified before we say they should do it. So that might be an issue from the
restrictions on whose part? On Langchain4j's part?
No. On it would be an issue for Langchain4j's part when we violate some of the brand use of Eclipse.
Okay.
So that need to be verified. We had the same issue.
You can put me down as an action to verify that.
Yeah, we had that issue in the past with the use of Linux Foundation names within MicroProfile, for example. Therefore, we named MP telemetry and not MP open telemetry, for example.
Got it. Yeah. So if we obtain the necessary consent from the stakeholders in Eclipse for us to name this work, or to name this directory, or this repository rather, Langchain4j-MicroProfile-Jakarta EE, then does anyone else have any objections?
Yeah, I think when we want to do a MicroProfile integration, which includes automatically a Jakarta integration, then we should not make the name more complicated than it is. So having Langchain4j-MicroProfile would make more sense to me than having a combination that includes Jakarta too.
Well, I think again, this is kind of I mentioned earlier. So it's kind of in order. This is kind of in order to make both community felt they are included in this effort. I think it's better in just the MicroProfile Jakarta. The other things I envisaged there will be a WebSocket integration as well. So it's kind of, this is kind of, you can say it's
beyond,
CDI is kind of in Jakarta, right? Because now it's MicroProfile loosely coupled with Jakarta. I think better off we call it MicroProfile Jakarta.
That's another discussion. MicroProfile, from my point of view, is not loosely coupled. It's strongly dependent on Jakarta, and that's wishful thinking. But yeah, that's another discussion.
I had a quick question. So if we name the repo and put it in Langchain4j, do we use MicroProfile specification in there, which are currently not available in Jakarta? For example,
correct.
Our current integration. So yes. Our current integration has MicroProfile fault tolerance implemented. So if we put it under Langchain4j, I'm not sure if that would be usable in Jakarta core profile or Jakarta.
We would have subdirectories for that. Remember, we're creating a repository. In my opinion, we should say whatever is related to use of Jakarta or MicroProfile and Langchain4j is in this repository. So if we have concerns about like, oh, well, there's not using this, doesn't using this subpart, we own this whole repository. We can create subdirectories as necessary to make those distinctions clear.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So the implementation wise, it will be like sub-modules. for technology.
Well,
and people
I
can
wouldn't go as far as submodules, subdirectories.
Yeah,
Submodules has a well-defined term in Git, so I don't want to go there.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, this repo will have the full inclusion of MicroProfile, all the specs, and also the open up to the full Jakarta specs. It's not only limited to Jakarta core or any other MicroProfile spec. So it's kind of open up all the technologies. So as Ed said, there may be kind of different multiple modules under this kind of, or multiple directories under this or repo.
Then what about having a LangChain4j-integration repository and then use naming of MicroProfile and Jakarta or the spec names inside that folder structure only?
Do you think we could get Spring? Could we get Spring to move into that? So there'd be LangChain4j integration, and then Spring would be inside of that. Because if we can't get them to do that, then I don't want to pursue that. Because the whole point of my agenda is I want to put us on par with Spring.
Yeah. I think let's just like one thing at a time.
I agree with you, Emily. I'm just stating that. I'm just pointing out the observation because, like, that suggestion, while technically has merit, it doesn't. I don't see it's realistic because I don't see Spring giving up their top level brand. Think of it like this: it's like having a top level domain name, right? And those are valuable things. So people squat on those and sell them for money. So it's a similar idea.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds good. I have a to-do. I will check with Eclipse Foundation regarding these names and etc. And then we will report back. Then once we get the name, basically the kind of the this trademark to be used, etc. And then we'll basically I will be in touch with the LangChain4j community, and then we can go from there. So it's are there any concerns and etc.?
No.
Okay. So in this case, basically, I will follow up with my own email, and we'll say we have a discussion today, and we kind of note down the name LangChain4j-MicroProfile-Jakarta, and then basically we'll follow up with the Eclipse Foundation to see whether they have any concerns. And the next step, basically, we have this repo created, and etc.
I'm sorry, one more thing, Emily. And this is again more on implementation spec, but config is very core to the base implementation of what we have done.
Yes.
And when I say config, MicroProfile config, right?
Yes.
That would be something very interesting to see. I have seen other spec chains flying around, and since this is very core, it is going to be interesting to see how we differentiate implementation, or like somehow make it a facade for MicroProfile config in core.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So it's in parallel. We have two conversations. One is the AI. The other one is the config. So also is I have some kind of to-dos and etc. I will share more details in tomorrow's MicroProfile technical call. I don't know, Ed, if you could attend tomorrow's MicroProfile technical call, that would be great.
What time is it at?
It's 7 p.m. UK time. I don't know for your time, John. Do you know
6 hours
what time?
earlier. I'm on the East Coast, so 6 hours earlier. 7 p.m.
So 1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Well, the steering committee is tomorrow from 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, half an hour later, I have an MP technical call.
Is it after the steering committee or?
After.
Yes, after.
Okay, so it doesn't overlap.
No.
Okay, yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay, so I have some thing to share and to basically at least to sync up with the whole MicroProfile community. And hopefully what I'm going to bring forward and etc. is kind of the I mean acceptable to the to the community. It's pretty much it's kind of some minor change on top of the like Gerard and your suggestion, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Yan. Probably I think is in a couple of minutes I will drop off, but you folks can go ahead to basically have more conversation. Sorry.
No, I need to drop off also.
Oh, okay. Okay, Yan.
So let me just take a quick thing, real quick. Sorry to interrupt, Jan. I'm going to ask Reza to bring to the steering committee subject seeking approval for use of the name langchain4j-microprofile-jakarta as a repository name within github.com/langchain4j. That's the subject. So I'm not on the steering committee.
Yeah. And
so
I would like to ask also for a different ordering of Jakarta and MicroProfile in that name. So
it's fine with me.
First naming because they build on top of it. So changing it to langchain4j-Jakarta -MicroProfile would make more sense.
Is that okay? That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
It started with MicroProfile.
Huh?
It started with MicroProfile.
Oh, launching 4G start. Yes.
We just asked. We do not make a decision yet.
The entire AI discussion started in MicroProfile.
Yes, but we can make the decision then later. That was the idea. Not make the decision now.
Otherwise, come up with names and get people to vote.
Oh, please, no. Let's keep it simple. Let's just pick the name and run.
Yeah, to be fair to John's point is the integration and also prototype happening in MicroProfile kind of land.
I don't care
in that
which
case,
the order is.
Yeah, in that case, probably -MicroProfile-Jakarta. You could say is have more integration with MicroProfile than Jakarta. Maybe this one is better.
I think that's fine. To me, as long as someone does Command F or Control F and types Jakarta, they see that at the same directory level as Spring.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good to me.
I just want to add that I think that putting MicroProfile first seems to imply that you need MicroProfile. While you can run without the MicroProfile stuff. So you have better integration because you can take advantage of fault tolerance and open telemetry, but you can also run without it. And I think that's something that we want to stress here.
Yeah, true. It has the MicroProfile config, fault tolerance, and the telemetry integration.
We could call it langchain4j-MicroProfile and maybe Jakarta.
Yeah, omitting Jakarta would make sense to me too.
It would not make sense to me from the brand perspective.
Okay, with that, let's just like
we asked this. For these options. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I got a job.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right.
And this is good. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.